Pittsburgh PA, the Steel City. Now, when you think of Pittsburgh, NASCAR doesn't really come to mind, doesn't it? Because most people would think the Pittsburgh Steelers, the Pirates, and the Pittsburgh Penguins. However, in the early 2000s, a whole NASCAR speedway would have been possible. So in this video, we'll be talking about Pittsburgh's early 2000s NASCAR hype. Let's get into it. The first talks about a NASCAR track being built in Pittsburgh were in the early 90s, when it was talked about having a NASCAR motor speedway near Pittsburgh International Airport. While it was never shown any concepts about it, here is most likely where it would have went on Google Maps. Again, we still don't have any concrete evidence of where it would have went, but this is my most likely assumption. While not being directly related at the time, Pittsburgh's new mega mall, Pittsburgh Mills Mall, built by the Mills Corporation, was going to have a NASCAR speed park. Most Mills malls had NASCAR speed parks, and Pittsburgh Mills Mall would have had a NASCAR speed park. Adding NASCAR elements to that wing of the mall being the sports section. While it never did get built, you could tell that the area was heavily themed around NASCAR. The next time a NASCAR track would be talked about is when Jeff Gordon did visit the Three Rivers Casino in 2013 to promote the Pedal to the Metal promotion, a Pepsi promotion, where he later said this in an interview with the news that
we need a racetrack near Pittsburgh if we're going to race in Pittsburgh. So I don't know if that exists, but not to my knowledge. But if we did, we would have a huge following and crowds like we do in Pocono.
For one of NASCAR's biggest drivers at the time to be saying this was huge news for Pittsburgh. Maybe Pittsburgh would get a NASCAR track. However, nothing. Nothing really happened with this. The track that was talked about in the 90s was supposed to have a big dome over it, however that was never built. What a sad way to end all this hype. What seemed like a possibility, now just only a dream. May Pittsburgh NASCAR fans still hope that they can have a racetrack, or at least a race, in the Steel City.